What it be, what it do, players? Your boy Cousin Roy, everybody's cousin, some people's uncle. Welcome to Kenobi Episode 6 and season review. Now, we are about 24 hours late because the episode dropped yesterday, but I had to go somewhere for dinner. All right. So I had to postpone it. I didn't manage to watch it yesterday, but I just watched it a few hours ago for the second time. And you know what? I don't want to waste time. I just want to jump right into it. We kind of got what we wanted, but we also didn't get what we wanted. But when I asked Dion yesterday, what did he think about the episode, and he just went ape shit. So I'm just gonna throw it all to you, bro. Bro, from all the things we've been speaking of since from 3, 4,
So, bro,
5, and then now 6, what did you think about episode 6? Oh, did you freeze? Oh no, did you? Hey, did you freeze? You froze there for a while. We
sorry.
didn't catch anything.
Sorry, could you repeat yourself? I just got
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you. So, what did you think about episode 6?
episode 6, of course, at the
Yeah.
absolute best of the entire series. I think it is the episode everyone was waiting for because everybody knows who is going to survive, who might not survive. We do not know. But we got a fight that we want. I think the fight that I want did happen. That was just that was so damn good, way. So satisfying in so many senses. And the throwbacks, the reference, Easter eggs. It was a very good scene where Uncle Owen and the wife defended their home. That was quite a good scene. It give them some what do you call that? Give them the limelight for once, you know. But overall, it was just amazing. Fitting end to the entire series. Of course, there were a lot of pros and cons from a lot of fans around the world. Some loved it, some hated it, but Star Wars fans all loved it. Just the real fans. I mean, it was just amazing. It was perfect ending to link it to episode 4, the original Star Wars. Yeah. So all the talk about the possible second season, I'm not too sure because I think it ended very nicely. I do not know if there's any reason to do a second season. If there is, also is mostly just maybe about Obi-Wan's training with his master, you know. But I can't see what they would do for a second season. I think it ended just nicely, for my opinion. It's
Yeah,
overall.
I watched it the first time yesterday, and when 5 ended with the girl getting stabbed and this fella running away, this one starts with them getting away, and then he's saying, "You know what? Let me go back." All right, so that's how it starts. So he said, "All right, let me go back. I'm not going to go anywhere because this fellow only wants me." Little touchy little scene over there, done, and then he flies. Now we get a fight scene over here between Obi and Vader, which goes on for a while. The episode again was 40 over minutes only. It wasn't that long. I think probably had that whole fight scene, including the drama and the chit chat, which we'll come to in a bit. I thought you were going to touch on that, but we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll
And
go.
the drama at the end of the cut, the end of the cut of the head and all that. So we had probably about maybe about 7-8 minutes there of some fight scenes, right? And this was a
Yeah.
nicely choreographed saber fight scene. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all got to remember. I also got to remind myself sometimes that these lightsaber fights aren't going to be some kung fu fast or some action movie with mad fight skills. No, it's a lightsaber. It's you cut down all the unnecessary movements. You only do what is absolutely necessary. You see a very very cool lightsaber fight scene here because this is my thing, bro. Vader overpowered him already. He took all that rock, all right. He piled it on top of him. Bang, boom, 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 boom. For a moment there, it reminded me of this one. Naruto, one of the biggest, the baddest guys in the series was his name was Toby. Now Toby
All
was
right.
also buried by Rock and then comes back to be a crazy antagonist, one of the most incredible antagonists. I thought, man,
Okay.
what the fuck is this? Am I watching Naruto here or what? Boom. Dude walks away, says he doesn't have his power. Very cool scene with having standing from the top at the bottom and all that. We see the green on the both sides and the red. And then Kenobi comes back. His power's over. He takes over, and there's this crazy fight scene where all the rocks. He gets all rocks and he throws the rocks at Vader. And then, ladies and gentlemen, he cuts his head, cuts the helmet. Now this was the best. It's a wrap with it's a timeout. It's a wrap with this scene, bro. I absolutely fell in love when he cut the head and then the head split open. Then he was going to go in for the kill, and then he was like, "Hey, wait, hold up! Now I can see his eyes, but his eyes are all crappy and crazy and sunken. It's all Frankensteiny and Freddy Krueger and shit." And ladies and gentlemen, we see him that mixed voice. What do you think about that mixed voice?
Honestly, that was one of my favorite scenes in the entire series. The when they mix his voice and James Earl Jones's voice because of the when he sliced through the mask. If you know me, you can indulge me in for a while. I want to talk about the fight scene. So,
we're gonna go. We're gonna go. Let's go. Let's go.
I mean, the entire
Take
fight
it.
scene I mentioned, there was so many throwbacks from the moment he stepped down, Vader stepped down his ship, saw Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan was like, Vader was like, "Are you here to destroy me?" And Obi-Wan goes with the famous line, "I will do what I must." Oh, that was a famous line for his. Then he light up his saber and did his famous fight pose. Absolutely famous fight pose from episode 3, from the Star Wars Rebels. From and this one, it is his signature fight pose. So the fans were like, "Oh, start start engine." Okay, so they start fighting. Bum 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 bum. Then if you notice, Vader usually fights with one hand. And suddenly, in the middle of the fight, after a few couple of 20, 30 seconds, Vader suddenly realized Obi-Wan is like woken up. So he starts to hold Vader starts to hold his saber with two hands now, tightly. So he was like, okay, he's not fooling around. This is serious. Then he hantam. Then he used the force to break the floor beneath him, and Obi-Wan fell down, like you
Yeah,
mentioned, and all the rocks.
that's
But he
right.
didn't
That was
actually
quite
bury
cool
him because
too.
he didn't bury him because he was actually using the force to withhold that little
That's
space in
right.
between. So Vader said, "Your strength has returned, but you are still weak." Blah blah blah. Still looking down on his old master. So when Obi-Wan was under the rubbles, he sort of like had a moment of awakening. He thought about the kids, Luke and Leia, how he needs to protect them, and I think that gave him strength to finally wake up and finally embrace the Force back. In my opinion, he hantam, all the rocks flew out. He jumped up, full of energy, and chased after Vader. And immediately they continued their fight. And that was and the way he used the Force, the way he pushed Vader flew back, hit Hantam the
Yeah.
wall, and when he
Bang.
faced the rocks, holy shit!
Mm.
That is like what I posted. Obi-Wan went God mode, whole way. That was a magnificent display of the Force. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Pum 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 pum, and then Vader was like, "Oh, whack, papa!" Then he smashed his the centerpiece until that's where he started to lose his voice, started to wheeze, and that wheeze is very unique because we heard it in episode 6, Return of the Jedi, when he was finally defeated by the son Luke, and he was like gonna die. So the way he wheezed at that scene, he was wheezing the same way. So he 555 slash his back, and then finally the one that you mentioned, the epic, he sliced through the helmet here. All right, and then we noticed finally, I think it is if I'm not mistaken, if you see the Return of the Jedi when he unmasked to see his father, there was this big scar on the like my bottom head,
Yeah.
the one big scar here, one lobang here.
Uh-huh.
I think this is how he got the lobang
Oh, there you
through when
go.
Obi-Wan slash open his. And you get a good glimpse of Hayden Christensen's disfigured look with a one eye, and exactly like you mentioned, the voice mix between Hayden's voice and James Earl Jones's voice. So that was so good, so damn good. The rage, and of course the final throwback is when sorry, before the throwback, when Obi-Wan saw Anakin's eye through the when he sliced open, he started to get very emotional. That really hit me a lot because
That was a good
he
scene.
felt so guilty,
My man
of
nailed it.
bringing up a apprentice, his student that eventually turned to the dark side and killed all the Jedi and all. So he
Yeah.
apologized to Anakin. Anakin, but then, he said another good phrase: "You did not kill Anakin Skywalker. I did."
You didn't, yeah, I did, yeah. And I was like,
Ah. And then the last one, he
okay.
was like, "Then my friend is finally dead. Goodbye." And he called him Darth. And that was a very cool throwback because in episode 4, the original actor, Sir Alec Guinness, when he was fighting Vader in the final scene in The New Hope, he referred to Vader as Darth, only a
Hmm.
master of evil, Darth. So that was a very good throwback. And I mean, everything just that's just what I wanted to share with regards to the fight scene that everyone was waiting for.
See this when they finally revealed the face. I'm a Hayden guy. I didn't like the fact the fans were always shitting on him back then. Like, he's a young man, give him a chance, man. Nice fellow. Eh? And then I wanted to see him in so much in that suit. Really, I said, yeah, is there any chance to see it? Bang! I mean, the pose you're talking about is him standing like this, right? With the left hand, because he's a left-handed guy, right? So it's basically him. The classic pose is that one. Is it that
Ah,
one?
no, he was holding the saber with the right hand. The left hand is
Or
something like this.
Obi is holding the saber, right?
Yeah,
Oh, that
two
means he's
finger
ready
like
to
that.
fight. Oh, the first one like this.
Ah,
Oh, I
yes,
see,
yes.
I see. Like it. Okay, because I had to repeat and look and loop and loop again to see that how they did that fight and then how he cut his head off. Because I thought as he jumped over the little mound, he swapped hands to the left. That's why Vader
Yes,
didn't know. But actually, no, he ran up the mound with the saber in his left hand,
yes,
and then
yes.
he
And
did
he
like
went.
a reach, like
So
a
it
reach.
actually showed how powerful a Jedi Obi-Wan was, how
Mm.
skillful a lightsaber practitioner he was in this scene.
And
Left hand, right hand, pun boleh.
also
Oh,
can.
and one more. I was watching the second one with the fan club last night via Zoom. Uh, during when Vader he was under the rubble, Vader was on top, right? So there were a lot of high ground references. I got a high ground.
Because
He
of part three, the high
part
ground
three.
thingy.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh, because
and then when he flashed his mask, Obi-Wan also got a high ground. He jumped into the rock and got the high
that's
ground.
true, no? That's true. Again, he kind of jumped up, got
So
a
the
leap because
fans were like, and myself were going, high ground, high ground, high ground.
that's true. Huh? I wonder whether they did that on purpose or not. That's interesting. I'm sure someone might bring it
For
up in some fan
sure.
forum,
A lot of
right? And he also goes to show how Vader and Hayden still cannot control their emotions. But I want to get back to that face that I saw. I was hoping to see
Hmm.
his face so much, right? So finally, when he showed his face and that eyes, but the scene that got me was the timing of how to move the camera just enough when he said, "I did," and then you see the eyes and the mouth. Oh,
He
yeah.
was grinning, if you
It's
notice, he
over.
was.
Yeah, it's over, man. That was a brilliant scene. And homeboy Obi just nailed it with the emotions. Someone can see the blue eye lightsaber in his face. Then
Mm.
suddenly, when he said he put it down, then that fellow's face became red. So there's a lot of these artsy fartsy drama thingy going on there. So we got this fight scene that I suppose first time I saw it, I thought it was shit. Second time I kind of watched it again and again. I was like, okay, I'm going to give it its roses. It was a decent fight scene that we got. Now let's talk about the other stuff that we had that also happened. Third sister was Slash. She came. She's looking for Owen. Now
Mm.
this is my gripe. That fight scene in the house that you said. Actually, I saw when I was watching it. I said, hey, that's kind of cool. Huh? They hid behind the block boxes and blah, 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 kind of raided fire on her. This is my disappointment. They actually made that bloody house. It looks so nice. Yo, the production designer on this, give that he or she their roses as well, man. That is so beautiful. Luke's house looks so nice. And we only got to see it there in this end in a fucking fight scene. And it's not even everything there because she runs away to chase the boy, finally catches the boy, and then she couldn't do it. She comes back, bring him back. She can't do it. She couldn't do it. She brought him back. Obi is there, and she asks him, "Have I fallen his way?" He says, "No. You chose not to go down and follow Vader. You're on your own." And that's it. Now we do not know her story. The only other Inquisitor we saw was when in the early part of the movie, and then when Obi separated from the
Oh, botak.
Resistance, Botta was there. That's it. And I also want to ask you something, bro. You know this O'Shea Jackson, Ice Cube's
Ah,
son,
ah.
Ronaka.
Roken.
Roken. Okay, he's the master fixer. He fixes shit and all that, right? Can I ask you something, bro? Did you Was there any scene where he was fixing anything?
No. You he
Did
tried to
anyone?
in the last episode he tried to open the thing using the remote control, but then
Yeah, that's it. Using Salmon. I was thinking this fellow is a master fixer or whatever. Fuck, supposed like like he's freaking God knows whatever. I can't find a reference right now, like Tinker or something. And I'm like, I didn't see a single scene where this guy is fixing anything, and he's got all these weird ass lines being thrown in his face. I think it's just a fucking waste of space. Bring back that girl from the Mandalorian, the the Australian lady with the red hair, the machine fixer. She is such a beautiful, wonderful actress. So much life and character,
yeah,
and her facial expressions are wonderful. This fella is a fucking stupid soda punde fella. Supposed to fix it, can't fix shit, and he hasn't done any good. Always need more time, need more parts, and in
yeah.
this one he's lying to everybody, saying things already when he's not. So I just want to put that out there. I didn't see
They say the hyperdrive is gone. It can't be fixed,
can't be
and
fixed.
they just float like while the Star
Ah.
Destroyer was chasing them.
And then the previous episode, I need 3 to 4 hours. You got 1 hour, okay?
3 4 hours sounded like I don't know. Honestly, I'm sorry, but it sounded like how Malaysians do things.
Yeah,
3 jam lah, 3 hari lah.
you
Gitu.
know, 3 4 days lah. I know, bro. I think they can be done 1 hour. Goodness, definitely. I don't know, man. I don't know. Did anybody see that? If you see, sound off in the comments, man. Mm. Now, there were also, this is the thing. Okay, now let's get to some criticism. I think we covered all of it. So after that, Vader is left there. Then he has this agonizing, blood curdling scream, Obi-Wan. I love that scream.
That was nice.
The sound guy deserves an award as well. So
That's
now
what.
Obi leaves. As he's leaving, Reva is trying to kill this boy. So he reaches there. Then all that things I just told, I just said happen. Now everything's good. So now Leia is back with her father, and Obi finally admits to her, "I knew your mom, and you got this from your mother, this character, and you got that tenacity, whatever the fuck, from your dad. That's why I knew it." So now he tells her, he said, "In the future, if you need me, you can find me." Then he
Mm.
goes back to Tatooine. He goes and see Owen. He tells Owen, "I'm sorry. Thank you very much. I'm out." Owen says, "Hey, yo, hold up, son. You want to see the son?" He's like, "Aight." So he goes and sees. He passes him some parts, some tool parts, whatever. Has a chat or whatever, and then he leaves. And then you
So,
see him leaving on a camel. And then what happens after that?
yeah. Before
Go
I
ahead.
want to talk about the Owen scene. But before that,
Okay.
I was actually quite happy to see Ian McDermott make a cameo appearance back at
Oh yeah, we missed
Mustafa
that.
in Darth Vader's class.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
He was talking to his boss, the Emperor, Darth Sidious, and he was like telling Vader to put your shit together.
Basically.
Your what do you call hunger to find your master has weakened you. He's telling Vader to shut the fuck up and focus on the job. Stop finding your own master.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vader
I
was
think I
like,
forgot
okay,
about
yeah,
that. That was an interesting scene.
That was
So
like-
basically it was like asking him what happened. He said no, he got away, whatever. I'll find him again. Then he said something about him being weak. And then he said, he said, "I only serve one master, and that's you."
Because
Dun, dun, dun.
Taro Vader lah. Then Vader was like,
Yeah.
okay, sorry. I'm focused back. Kenobi is nothing. I will forget about him. I will only do what you tell me to do. So
Right,
okay,
that makes sense. It didn't make sense to me. So what happens after he walks away in the camel?
You know, before that, you know, when he was when Owen asked Ben, "Do you want to see the boy?" And Ben Obi-Wan walked over, and that actually the thing he was carrying is a toy that Luke was playing with in Episode 4, A New Hope, when he was restricted and not being
yes.
able to leave the planet. Because the father, the stepfather wanted him to continue working for the farm. So he was throwing a tantrum in his room, and he was playing with that thing, which is actually that whatever thing that Obi-Wan passed to him. And of course, the phrase that I think every fan was also looking forward to. Finally, he uttered it when he went up to Luke, the little boy, and it was, "Hello there." Was
Oh,
a bit of a fan service. Like a fan, is his famous. It was the first phrase that Alec Guinness uttered in the episode 4, New Hope, when he first appeared as an old man. When he was
oh.
Luke and C-3PO, he was opening his hood. "Hello there." Then, of course, throughout the franchise, especially in episode 3, there's a very popular meme that he is "Hello there," and then General Grievous turned around. You know,
Oh, I
it was a
see.
phrase everybody was looking forward to. And of course, coming to the camel part, and I was like, "Hey, cannot be lah. I'm waiting for the villain to appear. Since episode 1."
Oh my
Oh, no.
god.
I was cursing and saying, "Hey, he has to appear. Has to appear. I know it's ending, but he has to appear." Baga then, then you see the apparition appear. Wow. Oh,
But he was there for what? 10 seconds? 5 seconds?
janji dia ada tunjuk muka lah. And Baga, this actor, very expensive guy to ask me to come and make
Well, I wanted to say, I think the footage from there might not. I'm not even sure if there's actual footage from now of old footage
No, no, no.
from the previous.
It is a film for this series. It is not nothing. No, it is not a old footage.
Okay, I was disappointed with that. I'm like, why is he appearing only now? I wanted to see him here because there's no talk of season 2. And okay, here's the thing I really wanted to say. When you were filling up all those blanks, right? I was actually, when I was watching it, I was telling myself, I feel like this episode is filling up doing a lot of fan service here right now.
Hmm.
And then now you just answered all those questions, lah. You filled in all the blanks. I'm thinking this episode, I'm sure a lot of people will like, because there must be all these little subtle little things here and there that people are thinking that, oh yeah, that. Then you just said lah, all that. The toy, I didn't know, the Vader telling him the insinuation that, hey, you need to move on, and he's saying, yeah, moving on from my master. And the earlier part, some of the things you mentioned, I was like, oh, okay, so there you go. All those things actually tie. So the mega fans who have been following this for a long time, I think this one will be a very good episode. For me, I think it's only so. Why? Because again, there were a lot of minutes kind of they used just to dramatize and to build up. Number
Hmm.
one. Number two, I felt that again it's a bit too short. And you look at the series as a whole, you got half an hour there on 4 where it didn't really further the story just to get to this. And I'm
Hmm.
seeing the how awesome this episode was, and I'm wishing for more. So this is where
Oh,
I
yeah.
am with it. Now let's talk about the season on the whole. So compared to other Star Wars series that we've seen, Mandalorian 2 seasons, Boba Fett 1, and that's about it. TV series. So out of the 4 that we've had so far, what do you think of this one compared to the others?
I mean, if you ask me, you're asking a Star Wars fan that would enjoy any Star Wars thing that is released. Um, there are pros and cons, but the a good thing that Disney bought over Star Wars is that we get all this now. We get a series, we get a lot of new content, we get a lot of tie-ins, a lot of things that I don't think George Lucas himself would do, you know. So that was a good thing. So if you ask me how do I think about this compared to the other series, of course I still enjoy Mandalorian the most because it is a brand new adventure, a new character put into a specific timeline that kind of adds a bit of legacy characters like Luke, and Ahsoka. But at least I'm sure people like it because it's new, so it actually appeals to a new generation, a new bunch of fans, if that is true. But of course, this one, a lot of fans might have too high expectation or whatnot because they're talking about Obi-Wan, they're talking about Ewan McGregor, Darth Vader. So there are a lot of expectations in it. That's why I believe, even to a certain extent, some fans are saying maybe it was better if they did a 3-hour movie instead of a 6 episode for Obi-Wan. But knowing Disney, you know why they did it lah. It is a cash cow. Star Wars is a
Subscriptions
cash
come on
cow.
a weekly basis too.
Yeah. So end of the day, we know why they're doing it. I'm just glad we have it. To be frank. And of course my I think two most disappointing parts, if I may say, for this series. The first is that Qui-Gon only appeared at the end, because I was actually hoping him to appear early on and have this discussion with Obi-Wan about uh, Anakin's the prophecy involving Anakin, because Obi-Wan was the one
Yeah.
who informed the Jedi Council that Anakin is the chosen one, the one who will bring
Yeah.
balance to the Force. But of course, that didn't happen until Return of the Jedi, when he threw the Emperor down the shaft. So I was thinking maybe there could be a discussion there. Then Obi was like telling his master, "Why, Master, did you do this? You see what happened? Now Anakin is turned to the dark side. Blah blah blah. Who knows what kind of conflicts that could happen from there." So that's the first one. Second one, disappointing fact, is the Grand Inquisitor and the fifth brother, because both are quite popular, rather popular actors, But and it is a Grand Inquisitor and Song Kang, the fifth brother. They had, you didn't even see them play the lightsaber. Didn't even see them fight. I was like, useless buggers.
Didn't even appear in this.
I was like, they're just there to put the face on it. A bit disappointing lah. I wish we could have seen some action with them lah. And I mean, I'm not saying is that third sister took up all the limelight. I'm glad she did in a certain way, because she's one of my favorite characters in this series. But it was a bit disappointing not to see those two have more fight scenes or whatnot. So I was very pleased with. Of course, that's the cons. Pros is, of course, Ewan McGregor, fantastic actor. He basically portrayed how he was totally out of the Force, shut off from the Force, a hermit, just a useless, absolutely like no confidence and all. And then finally he grew and gained his confidence back and gained the full power of the Force. And of course, Hayden and Vader. Everybody loves that. So I think for me that is the pros and cons for this particular series. And if you ask me if I were to rank it, I would rank this Mandalorian first, Obi-Wan second, and Boba Fett third. But
All
that is
right.
the
All right. Let me see. For me, this one's got to be the worst because they didn't use even McGregor. They used him, but I don't see how the scenes and all with him were. We could have seen a bit more, maybe two, three
yep.
more episodes. Vader, I think we didn't see enough. Fifth brother, definitely didn't see enough. Fourth sister also definitely didn't see enough. Reva is one of the best things in this series, and and the makeup for all the Inquisitors is fantastic. It's lovely. Like, all the Inquisitors fantastic, but Reva and even McGregor carried this bloody series, man,
Yeah.
easily. Even McGregor's scenes were brilliant. The way he said his words were always the same. Of course, it's in the voice box lah. They record over that's why you remember how you say your words easy, so you can go there and record it. But they didn't use him enough. I think they just blew away some episodes, like episode 4, waste of time, unnecessary, didn't do anything. Fan service because too much nostalgia. New fans like me wouldn't understand. Qui-Gon, okay, I'm not too upset. Of course, I would love to see him more, but he came right at the end. I'm like, yeah, just whatever lah, bro. Okay lah. So now finally he can see you lah. He was there all the while, but he couldn't see you. Now he got the Force. So I'm like, I'm not really familiar with 4, 5, 6 very well, so that I was lost with that.
Mm.
I feel there were some scenes that were too draggy where you'd be like, want to watch again? Maybe in 2 years' time, maybe 1 year's time, very hard. Why I say this is this because I told you the other day I just watched Boba again, right? And Mandalorian season 1 and 2 was fantastic. Like every episode was pretty good. I would say Mandalorian like season 2 was even better than season 1. So if I had to
Mm.
rate all of these, Kenobi for me, with all the ones that I've seen before, knowing what they have, not knowing so much about the history of Star Wars, this one is the last. I think for me first right now, I'm going to put Boba Fett for the fact that I just watched that season 1 behind the scenes thingy. It's there on the Disney thingy. I forgot what it's season 1, episode 1 of the behind the
Okay.
scenes. So they talked to Robert Rodriguez, Timura, the whole team behind Boba Fett, and some of the team behind Mandalorian. Filoni, Favreau, all are there. that 1 hour 8 minute thingy, it was more interesting than some of the episodes in this TV series. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Serious. You can watch that one over and over and over. So much information, interviews behind the scenes, and all that thing that is, and it's done so well. It's exactly produced by John Favreau, so he's the one who actually,
Yeah,
behind it again. So it's very, very interesting, man. That was more interesting than this. So seeing
yeah, man.
that and knowing how things were done, Boba is number one for me. Mandalorian season two is number two, season one number three, and this one four. What do you want to say, bro?
Yeah. But if you're watching, you actually have to watch Mandalorian and Boba together because they are kind of interlinked. But of course, if you want to watch in sequence, it will be season
No,
one
I watched
Mando.
it in sequence. I watched it when it came out.
Yeah,
I watched everything. I'm like, this is just like a rewatch. I watched everything. I
because
watched it.
half of the Boba Fett was like the Mandalorian season two.
Mandalorian. Yes, right. This is the way fighting the training. That episode was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, no? Ron Howard's
Yes.
daughter, the Jurassic girl. Yeah, yeah. So
I'm
she's
looking
in that
forward
as well.
to her directing more Star Wars
She's
series.
I.
Her,
She's
her
I.
her her directing skills are quite good for the
You think
series that
so?
she directed.
Okay. I mean, Robert, everyone likes me too. I think he's my favorite because when I saw how they did the final episode with the Rancor, it was all just done in the studio. They just went around in circles, cut
Mm,
there, scene there. I was like, man, this guy, Sifu. Robert Rodriguez is a goddamn, because they said, you really want to do it? He said he asked Fabro, can I do the final episode? He said, I'm not sure. Okay, can have it. How you going to do this final fight scene? He was like, don't worry, I got it. So they'll shoot. Okay, you run here, camera run here, then run across to the other side. Do then here they change things a bit, then run here. So that whole final episode fight in Boba was actually done in the one bloody studio lot. Respect, man. Mad respect for
yeah,
this guy, lah. I tell you, the way he did it,
no
respect.
surprise in
Anyway,
that.
yeah, yeah, that's my favorite. And there was another guy who looked Asian. Yeah, he did episode three, four, one of it. He was,
Chiang, I think, one of
yeah,
the top guys in Lucasfilm.
he's having
Dog,
wearing
Doug.
glasses. Wearing glasses.
Hey,
No, no.
I can't
Anyway,
remember.
there's one fella. His episode was alright. He was there. So those two, I think, did a pretty good job lah. That's how I rate it. And yeah, Mandalorian season one when he came out, I watched everything in one sitting, man. Season two, I watched my mom. Boba, she passed away
Nice,
already, so
nice,
I watched it
nice.
myself. Yeah, I watched it myself. Yeah.
I'm
So
sorry.
anyway, hey, no, it's all good, man. Thanks. So anyway, I think we got it all covered. Kobe was nice for the
Yeah.
fans. I think rewatchability depend on how you are. I think the old fans who have been for not old fans by age, but fans who from the start, episode four itself, would really, really loved it. And you see it's proven when you see Gion like filling in all the blanks for us. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we're tuning in. Peace out. Be safe. Remember, like and subscribe. Let me know what you all think about the series. The next series we're going to do, I have no idea what, because it's Miss Marvel is very kiddie, but it's also very nice. Most likely Hulk. Anyway, until then, peace out and may the force be with all of you.
And with you.